Thank you, Tina. Here in the Champlain region, the virus has ravaged the small village of Stowe. The streets are abandoned and there's a sense of doom with devastation on the horizon. If I could get a message to the quarantines, do not come out here for any reason unless you know how to stop this disease in its tracks. Tomorrow, I promise to go head to head with the director of C.I.D.E, David Montgomery. Tune in tomorrow and be safe. Naomi Ruttlege reporting for Outlander Public Media. How was that? Thank you. My goal is to gain access to better medical facilities for the Outlands. Don't worry, I'll be relentless tomorrow. I have a plan. As soon as this is edited, I'll leak this to the quarantines. Safety in power, and power in safety.
Nikki, what's going on?
It's Mel. She's caught it.
Really? I thought it was contained to the Champlain region.
I don't know what to tell you, Stephon, but she's sick.
This isn't good. What's her temperature?
103 degrees and getting higher.
What are her symptoms?
Mel, tell Stephon where the pain is.
I can't breathe.
Mel, what else is hurting?
She can't talk, Stephon. She's weak, and I'm getting scared. Can you help us?
I'm in the quarantine area right now. I'll see what I can do. For now, though, do whatever you can to get her temperature down.
How?
Any way you can. Dr. Montgomery says fluids. Plenty of fluids.
No thanks. He just wants us all dead.
Well, that's a little extreme. He is the doctor.
I don't trust him at all.
I know. Let's see what I can do.
This quarantine's almost over, right?
I think so. My dad seems to think that this wave is about to settle and we can return to normal. It's supposed to end tomorrow.
It's good. I miss you.
You know?
You miss me too?
I do miss you. I just don't feel the need to tell you every time we talk.
Ouch.
Please don't do that.
Do what?
How I feel shouldn't hurt you. They're my feelings. You have yours and I have mine.
Okay. I'm apologetic.
Seriously, Dag, changing the word doesn't change the intent.
Why is it that I'm the one that always has to change?
You don't have to change.
I like saying I'm sorry. Sometimes it's apologetic and sometimes it's empathetic.
It's one thing to apologize for something unintentional, You just seem to always put yourself in a position where saying I'm sorry is the only way you see to get out of whatever kind of trouble you think you'll be in.
That's not true.
Prove it.
Okay.
I have to go.
Do you think that the rumors are true about the impact to the Outlanders?
I don't know.
Okay. I keep catching bits and pieces on Outlander public media, and it seems that
I'm not here to confirm all the conspiracy theories you have.
I'm not the only one with these theories, you know?
Look, all I know is that once again we're safe inside the walls of the quarantine.
Sure we are.
You don't have to believe me.
It's not that I don't believe you, Mo. It's just that I'm having trouble with this isolation
We all are.
from you. Isolation from you.
I know. Me too. Maybe we can sneak out? Talk at Arena?
Like that. Tonight?
Seems a bit risky for you. I have to go. I'm getting a call.
Who is it?
Does it matter?
Is it Stephon?
Yes.
Great.
It's harmless.
I want to believe that.
I have nothing else to prove to you, Dag. Either you believe me or you don't. Not in my control.
Watch it again.
Listen. Never mind. He's calling again. I have to go.
I love you, Mo.
What's for dinner, sweetheart? What's for dinner? I said, what is for dinner?
Admin, will you please mute everyone? Thank you for joining me today. I don't want to say this, but with the latest information about how long the virus takes to run its course, it's the recommendation of this office, of the entire Center for Infectious Disease Eradication, and my professional opinion as an infectious disease expert and physician, that we remain in quarantine for 3 more months. I get it. Trust me when I say that I didn't want to give you this news. The fact remains that the virus is still running through its course with the Outlanders. The Outlands are being decimated by this virus. We need to stand strong and remain in lockdown for the next 90 days. Any perceived weakness or idea of opening up our walls could have a devastating effect in our world. Ordinarily, I would take questions.
Just one question, Dr. Montgomery. What if it was your daughter?
I don't understand the question.
What if your daughter was the one dying from this disease?
I still don't understand. I'm saying that we should continue to shelter in place. My recommendation and the recommendation of my staff is that we need to be in lockdown for the next 3 months.
Would you work faster?
I'm sorry, I just don't follow the line of questions.
Would you work faster to find a cure for this disease if your daughter was dying?
Which media outlet are you from?
Outlander Public Media?
Right. No further questions.
Dr. Montgomery, people are dying right now because of the walls that have been put up around the quarantine. We need help. We need your help. And you're just going to ask which media outlet I'm from, as if that matters?
My team and I are recommending that the quarantines remain locked down for 3 more months. What the Outlanders do is up to them.
So just let them die? What if one of them was your daughter?
My wife died helping the Outlanders. She was an advocate for the Outlanders and you killed her. 3 years ago. You want me to help them? We are in the midst of the worst strain of this virus since 2035. Even worse than the pandemic of 2020 that took over 2 million lives in less than a year. I am locking down the quarantine for 3 more months until the Outlanders have herd immunity amongst them.
Them.
I know what you're doing.
You referred to your fellow humans as them, as if they have no value to you.
You should have all received the talking points for this latest recommendation. Please refer to that if you have any other questions.
One last question.
I'm through here.
Just one last question. You've entertained my questions so far.
No. I'm done.
What if Momo had this disease? What would you do then?
Where's your mom?
I don't know.
How long has she been gone?
All day. She's trying to get help. If we only had a cure.
Well, that's why I called. I have a friend, the daughter of the director of C.I.D.E, and
She's the daughter of the devil.
No, she's not like that. She has the resources to help you.
My mom says I just need medicine.
I know. I'm working on it. I promise. She will help us.
Anyone can help us except the devil.
Why do you say that?
I have my reasons.
Don't let pride get in the way of helping you.
It's not pride. It's hate.
Well, if it isn't Stephon the kid, how are you doing?
I'm good. I need to talk to you about something.
Okay, I have a minute.
Look, it's very important.
I'm all eyes, ears, and faces.
Momo, this little girl, Mel, the one I told you about, she's very important to me. Her mother, Nikki, owns one of the businesses I trade with all the time. I need your help.
In the quarantine or outside the quarantine?
Outside.
No, thank you. The rules are the rules, Stephon. You know that.
But I also know you.
You don't.
I know you're not opposed to bending the rules and sometimes even breaking them.
I am resourceful, but not this. My dad...
Your dad wouldn't even know. We just need a little bit of the mRNA 1273 to make it happen.
Stephon, shh. You know it is completely against the law for us to even be talking about this.
No one's listening to our conversations.
It's not what Dag says.
Dag. I don't know the kid, but he doesn't seem like your type.
I don't have a type.
Interesting. I need you to do this for me.
What's in it for me?
You like helping people, and you have a huge heart.
Not when it's them.
You know, Mel called you the daughter of the devil.
Me.
Yep. Because your dad is the director of C.I.D.E.
She called my dad the devil. What does she possibly know?
She's a 12-year-old girl and she's dying. I'll conference you in.
No, don't do that.
Mel, this is Momo. Momo, this is Mel.
Stephon, why are you doing this?
I think it's important to put a face to the disease.
Stephon, this isn't fair.
I'm just being resourceful.
Manipulative is a more accurate description.
I don't want your help any more than you want to give it.
How you doing there, kiddo?
Honey, you're the kid calling me kiddo.
Sense of humor is still working.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Like you have a nice room.
Does that surprise you?
A little.
Yeah. All things aren't as bad out here as your news media makes them out to be.
You look and sound really sick.
Yes, I'm sick, but I don't need any help from the devil.
I'm not the devil.
If your tab works for C.I.D.E, then yes, you're the devil.
Momo's mom tried to come out and help you guys a bunch of times 3 years ago. So Momo plays on our team.
Not yet, Stephon.
See?
I'm certainly not going to help someone who doesn't want help.
I think you both have it wrong about each other. Momo's mom was Daphne Montgomery. In Fixed and Proper, there's a statue of her because of how many lives she...
Wait, there's a statue of my mom?
That's your mom?
Well, the name is. I don't know anything about a statue.
It's your mom, Momo.
Your mom is married to the devil?
Was married, not to the devil, to a good-hearted man.
You got stuck with your dad, didn't you?
It's what happens when one of your parents dies helping out everyone else.
She died?
Yes, she died. September 19th, 2035. Trying to help out your people with a vaccine.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't know what I'd do if I lost my mom.
It sucks.
It does suck. But here's where we are. We have a limited amount of time to get this done. Momo, can you get me the mRNA?
I'm sure I can. It is in abundance here.
Perfect. Meet me at the old abandoned Wally World north of town.
That's outside the containment zone.
Yes, it is. I'm one of the only people being let in and out of the containment zone right now. But once I'm out, it's 72 hours until I'm let back in. So that's how it's going to have to be.
I can't, Stephon. I'm sorry. My dad just announced another 3 months of quarantine, and they're not going to let anyone in or out.
3 more months?
Yes.
We'll all be dead by then. I'll be dead.
Come on, Mo.
Okay, Stephon. What time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight. It's the only way we can save Mel and hopefully others.
It's not a lot of time. Are you sure this medicine will even work?
Not at all. But we need to try it out. Right, Mel?
Right. We need to try anything.
I mean, it's as common as headache medicine here. You could ask pretty much anyone.
but not everyone is as resourceful as you.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you, Momo.
Don't thank me, thank Stephon, if you make it. I'm rooting for you.
Me too.
Thank you, Momo. I owe you big time.
Yeah, I don't think we can talk about owing anyone anything until I pull this off. Call Dag. Hey Dag, it's Momo. I need you to talk me out of doing something stupid. Please call me back. Hey Dag, it's Momo again. I need to talk to you, and soon. I have to leave in an hour, and I need to talk to you. What's going on, Dag? Why aren't you returning my calls? I'm leaving in 15 minutes, and we need to talk. Seriously, of all the times to not be codependent. Call me back. Okay, maybe codependent is too much. I hope you're not mad at me because I'm hard on you. I have no idea where you might be right now, but I'm heading up north to the old abandoned Wally world to deliver a vaccine to Stephon to brain fix him proper. I can't tell my dad because, well, he'd forbid it or worse. I'm telling you because I love you and someone should know my whereabouts should things not go as planned.
Oh? Where are you?
Dag, why didn't you answer any of my calls?
I'm sorry, I was with my parents. It was dinner time.
I'm lost and I don't have much power left on my device.
It's 7:30. Where are you?
Did you watch my messages?
Yes, of course I did. What do you need me to do?
I'm killing my battery with this GPS and it's not helping me find the coordinates to the old abandoned Wally world.
Wally world. Why are you doing this, Mama?
To help a little girl.
Right. There's something more here.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. What is this about?
Look, this is bigger than Stephon.
I don't give a damn about Stephon. Why are you risking your life to do this?
I'm not. As soon as I meet up with Stephon, I'm turning back around and coming home.
Seems like such a big risk to me.
You know what? Sometimes you have to take big risks in order to feel like you're living.
Just because I'm not much of a risk taker doesn't mean I'm not living.
Stephon was right.
What does that mean?
Stop with all this insecurity, Dag. You make me want to swear sometimes.
I'm not trying to upset you.
I know. You do it without even trying.
I just don't understand why Stephon is the person you're meeting.
Just meeting him there to give him the vaccine. Did you watch my messages?
Yes, of course I did, but why him specifically?
I said it in all of those messages.
Okay, I might have skimmed them and realized that you wanted me to call, so I called, but why Stephon?
None of it is relevant right now.
What is relevant then?
I'm lost, Dag. I'm supposed to meet Stephon at 8 p.m. and I'm not gonna make it on time.
Are you kidding me right now?
seems like the exact time when I wouldn't be kidding you.
Do you want me to come find you?
My coordinates are latitude 43.09 and longitude minus 71.46. Mark that on your device, please.
Marking it down.
I'm heading northwest at present.
Okay. What do you want me to do now?
I need you to be the strongest person for me. I need you to understand why I have to do this. I need you to...
Mo? Momo? Are you there? Oh man, what do I do? Calm down, calm down. The love of your life is out there in the middle of the woods beyond the quarantine. The love of your life. Is she though? Focus! She's out there beyond the quarantine. Calm down, calm down. I have 85% battery life on my phone. I should go find her. No, that can't be it. I know, I'll call her dad. That can't be it either. Oh, what do I do?
Dag, did you...
Mo? Mama? Are you there?
Dag, what can I do for you?
Hi, Mr. Montgomery. I mean, Dr. Montgomery. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. You can call me David.
Right. David.
Do you need me to get Mo for you?
No. I was actually calling to talk to you.
Okay. What's up?
Oh, you know, a lot.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Good to know.
Dag, do you want me to go get Momo for you?
Actually, yes. That might work better.
She has her own device, you know.
I know.
Be right back. Mo, Dag is on the phone for you.
Oh, boy.
Did you say something?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Mo, Dag is on the phone for you. I'm sure she'll be down any minute.
Okay. Actually, she won't be coming down the stairs.
What did you say?
She's not there, Mr. Montgomery. I mean, Dr. Montgomery. I mean, David.
What do you mean she's not here? Of course she's here. I just had dinner with her.
You did?
Yes, I did. I would know if I had dinner with my own daughter.
When was that?
Around 6 o'clock? Why?
It's just that. It's 7:40 right now. When was the last time you saw her?
I don't know.
David.
You can go back to calling me Dr. Montgomery.
Right, sure. She left at 7 o'clock and headed north.
What are you saying?
I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing here.
Damn it, Dag, just spit out what you know. What is going on?
She went to meet with Stephon Cheyenne at the old Wally World north of town, near Fixed Proper. She left at 7 and was expecting to meet him there at 8. She tried calling me a bunch, and finally I talked to her in the last 10 minutes, but she either lost her signal or her battery died.
Are you serious?
I am.
Why would she do this?
Something about some medicine, but I think there's more.
What else did she say, Dag?
She gave me her coordinates.
Okay, what are they?
Latitude 43.09, longitude minus 71.46. Very sorry.
I have to go.
This is Yaz speaking. Leave a message after the beep. Beep.
Yes, it's David. David Montgomery of C.I.D.E. I need you to call me back immediately.
Hi, David. Hey, that was a doozy of a message today.
Yes? You there?
I am. I usually don't like to take calls this time of night. It's never really good news, you know what I mean?
My daughter, Mo.
Yeah, that reporter from OPM was brutal.
No, yes, she's missing.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Momo left the quarantine and headed north towards Fixed and Proper where the old Wally World is. She's on foot and left at 7 o'clock. Yaz, are you there?
Yeah, of course I'm here. It's just that, well, I can't leave and get her.
You mean you can't go and get her?
I mean, none of us can leave the quarantine. C.I.D.E. rules?
You're the law enforcement.
Yes, that is accurate, Dr. Montgomery. I am a quarantine enforcement agent. Another reason I just can't go up there and get her.
My daughter is missing, and her boyfriend just called to let me know that she's headed north outside of the quarantine.
I get that.
My daughter is breaking the law. You need to enforce the law.
While that may be true, the quarantine laws rule all, and no one is above the law.
Listen, yes, this is my daughter.
I'm sorry, David, but it doesn't matter. Unless Governor Breakwater signs off on it, I can't. And even if he does?
Yes. My friend. You are telling me that I just have to sit and wait?
Look, I can't speak as your friend, David. I took an oath to uphold the constitutional, regional, and quarantine laws, and I took that oath seriously.
Right. And when my wife went to Fixed and Proper, what did you do? Damn it, yes, what did you do?
I went to get her.
When we had a shipment of hand sanitizer intercepted from Upper Providence, what did you do? What did you do, Officer Lincoln?
I went to get it.
Yes. I don't want you to get into trouble, but we're talking about my daughter, and I really don't want that reporter to be right. You know?
Yeah, I know. Was she with anyone?
No, the only person she would have been with called to let me know, and from what I could tell, he was at home.
Anyone else?
He mentioned Stephon or Stephon.
The traitor?
I have no idea. It's the first I've heard of this guy.
Yep. More than likely, it's Stephon the Kid Cheyenne. He's a veteran, and he just started in the trade faction. He trades goods from the Outlands for money from the quarantines. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what he does, but...
But what?
He seems to be developing a reputation for being in the middle of things in the Outlands.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, do you know why else she'd be meeting with him?
She's taken a vaccine. mRNA 1273 to be specific is missing out of my medicine cabinet.
Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
You're right, it doesn't.
I mean, there's a plethora of that available in the underground market.
I know.
Something is wrong.
Like what?
It doesn't make sense that she'd leave the quarantine just for this.
She's a kid, Yaz. I think someone got into her head, maybe this Stephon guy, and convinced her to leave.
Right.
Okay. What do you think is going on?
I don't know, but it's not good. Let me see what I can find out.
I'm so sorry. But I didn't know what else to do. I called your dad and I told him everything. I'm so sorry, but I think it's what you wanted me to do. Why did you do this?
Momo, it's Stephon, as you can probably tell. It's 8:15 and I'm at the Wally World. Where are you? It's cold and snowing. I'm getting worried.
Momo, this is Officer Yaz Lincoln of the Quarantine Enforcement Agency. We need you to turn around and come back, please. Once you return, you'll need to go through decontamination and will be detained for 72 hours until we are sure that you aren't infected.
Hey there. I'm getting worried about you. It's cold out here. Call me. It's 8:30. Hello?
This is Officer Yaz Lincoln of the QEA. I understand that Momo Montgomery is supposed to be meeting you. Is she with you?
No.
You sure?
Of course. She's late.
Have you tried calling her?
Yeah, of course.
And?
Have you tried calling her?
Yes, of course.
And?
I see what you did there. Don't get cute with me.
Hey, look, I like to know where she is. It's not like her to not show up.
What is so important that you had to meet at this hour while a quarantine is in place?
Someone is dying. People are dying. Fixed and Proper doesn't have any vaccine, but they're willing to try and duplicate the vaccine that Momo was supposed to give me.
The underground market is flooded with vaccines, including mRNA 1273.
It is?
Yes, a traitor like you should know that.
Like me.
All I'm saying is that the Outlanders should have no problem getting this vaccine. So what is the real reason?
That's the reason. Mel Veatch and maybe her mother Nikki are dying from the latest strain. They asked me to help them.
Mel and Nikki Veatch?
Yeah. You know them?
It's not important. Why else are you trying to help them?
That's it. I called Momo because I knew she would know how to give me the vaccine quickly, and she met me a couple months ago.
She did?
Yes.
That's it?
I found some hand sanitizer in the abandoned Walmart north of the quarantine area. We met up there and I gave it to her.
Why?
I don't know.
Where is she now?
If I knew, I'd tell you.
I'm not sure I believe that.
Believe what you want.
The second you hear from her, you need to call me. Is that clear?
Nikki, hi. How are you?
We got her.
Who?
The daughter of the devil.
When did you get her?
Earlier this evening.
I'm not sure this was the statement we wanted to make.
I'm desperate. When Stephon said,
Stephon, the traitor?
Naomi, Mel is getting worse, and I'm starting to feel the symptoms.
What if she gets it?
Who? The daughter?
Yes. Momo, she has a name. She's a person.
Then she gets it. And the real cure will be provided to us.
This isn't what I meant to happen. I was hoping to get him to think.
The opportunity presented itself. I bet he's thinking now.
Is she okay?
Sure. Hold on. She sings. She's been singing nearly non-stop. I'll show you.
When I close my eyes, you're all I see. Longing for the day that we're together. Hope with all my heart that it's forever. You're the only light inside this dark. I need you most when we're apart. I'm sorry if I've let you down. Be my eyes and help me try to shed some light and show me the way home.
Any questions?
Okay, I'll come up with a plan.
Hello, this is Dag.
It's Momo.
Mo? Everyone's so worried about you.
I've been kidnapped.
Wait, what?
I've been kidnapped by the Outlanders. I don't know how much time I have left before they figure out I've taken one of their devices.
How did that happen?
I can't go into detail right now. I need you to get a message to Stephon.
I'm calling Officer Lincoln. He's looking for you.
I'm sure he is. My dad, too. They're going to hold me for ransom. I need you to get a message to Stephon.
Stephon? Why aren't you calling your dad?
Lots of reasons. One of them is that these people really think he's the devil. And they're so sick, and I think it's my dad's fault.
I'm coming to get you.
It's very sweet, but they don't know you. They know Stephon, and they're very well organized.
Why aren't you calling Stephon then?
Because I'm calling you. What do you want me to say?
Mo, I'm sorry.
I have to go.
Mo? Can't believe I have to call. Call Stephon Cheyenne.
Who's this?
Dag Willikins.
Dag. Momo's Dag?
Yep, that's me.
Have you heard from her yet?
Yes, just now.
Okay, thank God.
I'm not sure we should be thanking God just yet. She's been kidnapped.
What?
Am I speaking too fast? The Outlanders have kidnapped her. What the hell is going on, Stephon?
Man, I was afraid of this. This is all my fault.
You're damn right it's your fault.
Okay? But this can't be the only reason you're calling me.
She seems to think that you can save her. Sounds like you might be her only hope, and she's not someone that deals with hope well.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'll see what I can do.
Look, every time she mentions your name, I cringe. You're the last person I'd ask to help her out. But she seems to think that because you know them, you can help.
Dr. Montgomery,
Yes?
what if your daughter was dying?
You son of a...
She's not. But what if?
I'm getting the quarantine enforcement agency right now. I should have known.
Don't bother. They have no jurisdiction here. I need to inform you that I am recording this interaction.
You don't have my permission.
I don't need it. Let me introduce you to Mel. She's 12 and is an Outlander that is dying from this. She doesn't deserve to die.
You are killing us.
Don't disconnect. What if she was Momo?
Look, Mel, right? I'm sorry that's happening, but it is beyond my control.
People listen to you. The devil provides the idea of fears, and the people always listen.
Young lady.
You don't get to talk to me that way.
What do you want?
What every single person in the Outlands want. Relief from this virus.
We signed a pact. The Outlanders...
That's politics. Politicians only care about leverage.
Then blame your politicians for this situation, not me.
You extended the quarantine, which means I'm going to die. I'm going to die, Dr. Montgomery.
What if Mel was your daughter, David?
She's not. Do you know where she is? You do know where she is. Is she alive?
Yes.
Where have you taken her?
I have questions first.
No. Give me my daughter back.
We will. First, though, we have run through the mRNA 1273, and it doesn't work at all.
Give me my daughter.
Why doesn't the medicine work?
Mel? What's going on?
The devil.
Dr. Montgomery?
Give me my daughter.
Naomi?
Yes, Nikki. The time for action is now.
Okay.
My daughter, and then I'll help you.
This isn't politics, but we have all the leverage here.
Dr. Montgomery, the medicine doesn't work.
I know.
You know?
Yes, I know.
Why does everyone in the quarantine have it?
Peace of mind.
Are people inside the quarantine that easily manipulated?
No one inside the quarantine containment population should contract what you have. If there's a breakout, then they can use the mRNA 1273 and they'll be fine. That's just part of the system in place to protect our people.
You know the medicine your daughter brought to us doesn't work, and yet C.I.D.E sells it on the underground market?
There's no guarantee that the mRNA 1273 would work on the latest strands. It's nearly 2 decades old at this point.
Dr. Montgomery, give us the right cure for this disease and we'll give you back your daughter.
There isn't a cure.
Then give us access to your medical facilities to prevent a mass casualty event.
I don't have that kind of power.
What? Give us the right medicine and we'll release Momo.
No cure exists for what you have.
Unbelievable. You expect me to believe that?
If mRNA 1273 isn't the fix, then what happens if it does get inside the quarantine?
That's exactly why we can't open our doors.
We need help.
When did you have your first symptom?
I don't want to die.
Please, Mel, I'm a doctor. When was your first symptoms?
What's the point? If we're going to die, we all die.
You don't need medicine based on our research.
What?
When was your first symptom?
8 days ago. Why don't we need any medicine?
Okay. The next symptoms you're going to experience are migraines that, when coupled with hard breathing and a cough, will make life unbearable. This should happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. You'll need to slow it down. Drink water, lots of water. Avoid dairy, eat fresh fruits and vegetables, and no red meat. This will slow it down and spread out the symptoms so that they don't stack. Keeping the symptoms from stacking should be your goal right now.
That's it, Dr. Montgomery? Why aren't you telling us this in your briefings?
Because I work for the Quarantines, not the Outlanders.
Don't you want to be a good person?
I'm not going to acknowledge that question with an answer.
You really are the devil. Give us the cure, and we'll give you back your daughter.
There isn't one, damn it! You can slow down the virus, which gives you a much better chance of survival. After the migraines, the virus will attack your nervous system. You're going to experience some paralysis. This will be minor if you're able to stretch out the symptoms so that they don't stack. If your symptoms stack, the combination of lack of breath, pressure on the brain, and the attack on your nervous system will result in disabling the person and oftentimes death. If they are spread out, you will survive. Now, please, let me have my daughter back.
She stays here until we recover.
Can I at least talk to her?
No, David.
Yes, he can, Naomi. I hope you're right, Dr. Montgomery. I'll get her a device.
Dad.
Mo, what were you thinking?
No, Dad, now is not the time for that.
Have they hurt you?
I've been exposed to the virus.
I was expecting that.
Good enough?
What do you mean?
Are you done talking?
You have a lot of contempt for a little girl.
You killed my father, Dr. Montgomery. Not you specifically, but definitely so C.I.D.E. You must know how it feels to lose someone you love.
They know about Mom.
Yes, of course I do.
Then I'm not sure it's contempt, but I'm definitely passionate about finding a cure and changing the course of your errors. You were the face of evil in my life.
I don't know what to say.
I started with I'm sorry.
It wasn't my fault.
It wasn't, but you can certainly empathize with her.
I do understand the pain you must feel. I've watched what it has done to my daughter and what it's done to me.
Go on.
I will make strides to be more transparent and provide information that can help the Outlands in my briefings. I promise.
It's a start. I'll keep you posted on how your daughter's doing. Mel needs to get rest.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Mo.
Hi, Stephon.
Hi.
I'll get right to the point.
Perfect.
I need your help, and I want to deputize you.
Okay.
I need someone who can get stuff done for me on the outside that I can't.
I'm still listening.
I need you to rescue Momo.
Well, I suppose it's the least I could do. Huh. How much?
She's a prized possession, Stephon. I'm authorized to give you 10,000.
Where's the sheriff of Nottingham come up with that kind of money?
I can't leave the quarantine. The Outlands are out of my jurisdiction. So, sometimes to get something done, you have to let Robin Hood be Robin Hood.
Well, I'll gather the merry men and we'll be on our way.
Thank you, Stephon. Oh, and if anyone asks, you didn't talk to me.
Of course. Man, my day just keeps getting better and better. Call Dag Willikins.
Hey, Stephon.
You sure you're up for this?
She is the love of my life.
Well, I'm glad you called me. Meet me at the Wally World north of town, 6:30.
On my way.
No one is going to expect this. I'll see you soon. Oh. Bring a gun. You might need it. Call Destiny.